there's nothing like being the captain of your own speedboat. Just me and my machine against the water and the wind. I'm king of the world! Wait, guys, I can't swim. Guys! Junkaroos, welcome to our junkyard where the war rages on. Our two teams today have just 10 hours to build spectacular working machines. What stands between them and the Junkyard War semifinals is our mammoth challenge.
The contest this time is to design and build a powerboat for a relay race across the savage waters of our lake. Our two skippers will have to navigate round obstacles to rescue their stranded teammates from a desert island. The first complete team safely back to shore will be through to the semi-finals.
In the blue corner, we have our first gang of metal maniacs, Ken, June, and Dwayne. They're into making groovy kinetic sculptures. Welcome to the Art Attacks.
Hi, we're from Humboldt County, California. Art Attack!
Ken is 49 years old and loves to engineer and build magnificent human-powered all-terrain vehicles. They're called kinetic sculptures.
Weighing in at a cool 160 pounds, yeah right, it's Dwayne Flatmo, a kinetic professor and accomplished graphic artist. Being the youngest on the team at 42 years old, Dwayne usually whines a lot and gets what he wants.
At 29 years old, forever, June's contagious exuberance brings her kinetic sculptures up to a new level of fun and excitement.
Junkyard Wars! Let's get ready to rumble!
Onboard expert for the Art Attacks is Justin Manley. Justin's a marine search engineer at MIT, and he's a natural because his family has been dabbling with boats since the Civil War.
Let's go.
All right.
Attempting to swamp the Art Attacks into second place are the mighty Metal Medics from New Mexico, Bob, Alex, and Dr. Bill. Bill's an emergency medicine physician, hence the team name.
Hi. We are
the Metal Medics! Hey!
We live in southwestern New Mexico, a very beautiful and very rural area, so we literally have to make our own fun.
Bill and I made this wind harp a couple of years ago, and it's 3,000 pounds of whimsy.
Hey, this is where Bill works. Hey, Bill, how's it going?
It looks like an amputation. Lucky the Metal Medics are here.
Vital standings don't look too good.
Looks like a flat line.
Looks bad to me, yeah.
To stop the Metal Medics from sinking without trace, here's Larry DeCan. Larry's studying a master's degree in naval architecture. His other passion is scuba diving. Let's hope that's a skill he won't need.
Let's go. Okay. Come on, hustle up, teams, hustle up!
Time for the teams to find out what they've let themselves in for.
All right, Metal Medics.
Hey!
Heart Attacks.
Yeah!
You know, the one thing about Robinson Crusoe is that he was able to build himself a home, but he couldn't build a way to get back home. So now, in tribute today, you need to build us a powerboat.
Yeah! All right!
It needs to be very fast because tomorrow you'll be racing at breakneck speeds across swampy waters towards Junkyard's Island.
Okay, well, there's really just one other important thing, which is in Junkyard rules, you have just 10 hours to build these contraptions. And the time starts from when the Junkyard ball hits the bottom of the Junkyard time machine. So wait for it.
Steady.
Ready.
Steady.
Go!
Okay.
So the teams are off to their separate build areas, if they can find them.
Before we let them loose on the yard, we make sure they're planning right.
I'm quite proud of the whole boat thing.
Really? I'm quite impressed you've read Robinson Crusoe, actually. But I don't want any Girl Friday comments today, okay? Can we just outlaw that from the start?
How about Ginger?
No, not Ginger.
Okay.
So time to find out what our teams have been plotting.
My understanding is that we're going to be bringing our castaways home one at a time.
Okay.
So there's a driver, a boat, and a passenger. Trick is, we want to go fast. So we need a boat, we need everything to be as light as possible, we need the most power as possible.
The Art Attacks plan to build a planing boat, which they hope will ride over the surface of the water speedboat style. They'll have to make or find a hull with short sides and a flat bottom for gliding over the water. Then they'll be looking for a light yet powerful engine to mount somewhere between the middle and the stern of their vessel.
First, it starts out like that, right? It's digging, it's digging, it's digging.
Yeah,
and the pressure of the water builds up underneath it.
Right.
And eventually, the water will only be down here.
Yeah.
As we leap out of the water in our rocket speed.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's look for, what does that look like? It looks like a Corvette, right?
Right.
Or on top of a van, or top of a van or something.
Meanwhile, the metal medics are examining a very different approach.
If it's a short race course, we're going to want to do a displacement vessel, okay? Essentially, we're going to come out with something like this, some kind of cylinder, okay? We'll find a motor. We'll plop a motor right in here. We're going to come out the bottom with a shaft and a propeller, and then we'll come off the back with a rudder assembly back here, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to need a set of outriggers that come out here like this, and we'll probably want to put one out here like this and like this.
A trimaran.
Essentially.
The metal medics are planning to build a boat which will sit in, not on, the water. They'll be looking for a hull that weighs little but displaces a lot of water so it'll float easily, like a barrel. This type of hull will encounter resistance when pushing through the water, so for maximum speed they'll also be looking for a really powerful engine.
The question is going to be, can we get up to speed faster than they can, than their design, okay? The displacement kind of vessel has a heck of a hole shot. It can come up to speed very fast.
Okay, let's
exactly.
go.
Let's
go
do
for
it. Let's do it. Good job.
With each team working on a plan, the hunt for seaworthy material begins.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
As usual, our teams are allowed to use anything they find out in the yard. It's a race against the junkyard clock to find the best junky stuff before the enemy does.
Remember, their finished vessel has to be worthy of our grueling relay race.
Simple, really, if only they knew where to look. Why don't you go find a sandwich for yourself and come on back in a few minutes.
This deal.
Welcome back to Junkyard Wars. Our two teams have pretty much settled on the designs for their powerboats, and they're scavenging up a storm.
Those groovy Californians, the Art Attacks, are racing ahead, and Beetle is scurrying towards his first find.
Our hole, boys. I found our hole.
The roof of this van, when turned upside down, will be the ideal shape for the hull of their speedboat-style planing vessel.
Metal medic scavengers Alex and Bob have found a stash of empty oil drums. Welded together, they'll make a great displacement hull.
So I think it's time for me to check out what the teams have in mind for the rest of their boat.
What did you decide to do?
We're working on a displacement hull.
Okay.
Okay? We should have a good hole shot. Our top speed may not be quite as much.
A hole shot meaning get off the line.
Get off the starting line.
Now that's actually a racer's term. A hole shot.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So you're going to build a big motor then, aren't you? Then a smaller boat?
Streamlined.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be in the 20-25 foot range.
Because the Metal Medic's displacement boat will come up against resistance as it moves through the water, its maximum speed is limited to around 1.4 times the square root of the boat's length. In simpler terms, the longer a displacement boat, the faster it'll go. So the Metal Medic's strategy for winning will be to make their hull as long as possible.
Long, slender bodies through the water will work very well for us.
Pamela Anderson of boats is what you're looking for?
Without the bumps.
No, without the bumps or humps.
I understand.
A little more streamlined, twiggy.
Right. What do you think your odds are finishing in time and then winning?
I think excellent.
100%.
Excellent.
All right.
Of course.
This is a take no prisoners, huh?
That's it.
That's right.
Not at all.
So, Art Attacks.
Jeez.
Looks like, well, almost completely indecipherable, actually.
This is the artistic
nice.
idea we want to build, okay? This is more like what we probably will build.
A box.
Yeah.
No, a box with a little angle on the front.
Oh, well, that's nice. The Art Attacks powerboat hull will work rather like a water skier at full throttle. A water skier starts slowly with the skis submerged. But as the skier builds up speed, the skis flatten out until they're riding on top of the water, or planing. Traditionally, planing boats have relatively slow acceleration but a high top speed, and this is the Art Attack's strategy for winning.
You know, the formulas aren't exactly precise.
Right.
You know, and this kind of thing, designing a hull form, I wish I could just write some basic equations down and make it work, but it doesn't work that way. We haven't mastered the science
Your expert's
yet.
talking guesswork here,
Yeah,
I think, isn't he?
yeah.
He's
We're
in
not
the
talking
junkyard
guesswork.
spirit already. Budge it together and see how it all
called
works.
educated estimation.
As long as it goes forward and it's not square in the front, I think it'll be fine.
Well, it might just look like garbage to you, but the Art Attack's leading lady has made an important find.
Okay, you guys, I found a motorcycle over here. It says R80 on the side. It's a BMW. It should be a good one.
June and Beetle can't get the smashed-up bike started on the yard, but back at base, the whole team can have a shot at it.
Now, if they're successful, the bike's 800cc engine will provide more than enough punch for the planing hole, and once it's been stripped down, it'll be nice and light, too.
So what's going to be the toughest bit? Is that going to be the toughest bit, is actually getting the engine...
That's the trickiest part. That's the part we're worried about.
Yeah.
But getting this, see, if we get a shaft-driven motorcycle...
baby!
Hey, hey!
Which
Let's put the cap on.
shaft-driven motorcycle...
Full of gas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Judy!
Hey,
What kind of bike is this?
BMW.
it's a Beamer.
It's a classy bike.
We're talking stylish here, boys.
Hello.
Hey,
So, how'd it go?
it's looking good, actually. Art Attack's got a very, very nice motorbike they brought in. Classy motor.
Did they get the wrong challenge of kind of motorcycle? What are they going to do?
Well, they're actually seeing whether the engine's going to run. Always, quite a useful thing to know.
Right.
Give it some gas. Now, there's no gas hooked up.
Woohoo!
Yeah, baby!
They got an engine.
We got power!
It's a bit smoky.
It's come off a junkyard,
That's a miracle that thing runs.
That sounds good. So they reckon, motorbike engine because it's light but really, got some serious oomph behind it.
Ah.
What about the old medics? What are they up to?
They're actually going for, they kept calling it displacement,
Right.
which it displaces the water.
Good idea.
I don't mean to get all
in a boat.
all technical with you, but
So it's going to be really long and thin.
I guess so.
So are they thinking speed over there?
They
Don't
actually,
have much speed
they-
talk on
they're,
the Art
they're,
Attack.
they're talking whole shot, which is a car racer's
Yeah.
term. So they're saying they could get off the line fast, but then the top speed is not that much because
Right.
the design of their boat is kind of like a hog in the water. It's not really aerodynamic.
So they're reckoning on a pretty short course.
They're hoping for a short course.
Little do they know.
On the other side of the yard, Art Attacker Beetle is back chewing his way through the van.
Come on, baby. Do the twist.
I think I might be able to use this.
And it looks like Flatmo is going to really enjoy stripping down their motorbike.
Poke it through this way.
Okay, that's good. Now you can put that up. Good. Okay, lift. You got your end?
The Art Attacks have finally cut a boat shape from the van roof, but it's a tricky beast and a bit wibbly-wobbly too.
No talking, waste your breath.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're making the right turn. Watch your boat end.
Lay it flat, Ken. One boat, ready to go.
Ladies and gents, we do still need a propeller.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's put that next on our priority list.
Out in the yard, and the metal medics have struck oil.
This could be it.
It's a 3-liter diesel engine from a Land Rover. If it works, it'll be the perfect power unit.
Hotwire it.
It's obviously not the first time Rebel Alex has hotwired a car.
I have no idea what these levers do, but some combinations gotta work.
The trouble's a stubborn steering lock, so out come our favourite Junkyard Wars tools.
you give me for this fine used car right here, one of Britain's finest?
This is the kind of thing our teams will be aiming for. For pure seat-of-your-pants speed, nothing on water can beat offshore powerboats. That's 200 miles per hour. Not quite as fast, but twice as dangerous are inshore racers. The boat's cockpit is modeled directly on that of an F-16 fighter. Feel the force of 5 Gs around that corner. Anyone out of their mind enough to race boats like these must also be crazy enough to sign up as a Junkyard Wars judge. So, let's welcome to our yard national champion powerboat racer, Frank Arian.
Hey there, Frank.
How you doing?
Glad to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
All right, good. Well, what do you see? Like over at Art Attacks, how do you think they're doing so far?
Well, I think they're doing very well. It looks like they got a nice boat. It looks like a car top. And it kind of reminds me of what we call in the States a duck boat. And they're very fast. They don't turn very well. So it'll be interesting to see how they turn these.
Metal Medics is doing a displacement boat.
Well, I think they're at a huge disadvantage to start with.
Why?
A displacement boat doesn't get up in planes, so there's a lot of surface in the water. I think the record for a displacement boat speed-wise is 90 miles an hour, where the record for a planing hull is way over 300 miles an hour. So.
Well, now, but I guess the reason they were real jazzed on the displacement is they felt that it was a very sturdy design and that it was going to, it's a racer term, talking about the hole shot, about getting off the line.
Well, they do have an advantage there, and I'll tell you why. Their boat is going to be, I don't know, 20 foot long.
But isn't it some kind of equation about the longer...
The longer, the faster. I'm no Navy man. I'm a boat racer. This is my type of boat.
We call this the George boat. It's really fat and wide. It's going to be really loud.
I heard that!
I'm sorry, George.
Justin and Beetle are pressing on, strengthening that wobbly fiberglass hull.
Teddy's got to go.
There's no time for Mr. Nice Guy over with the Metal Medics. They're really struggling to persuade the Land Rover to part with its engine.
I think the starter is right over there. Check it out.
Do you think it's got enough oomph?
Oh, yeah.
Enough power in it?
Sure, this is a very heavy vehicle. You know, it's a big, heavy four-wheel drive, and although it's not a particularly fast vehicle, by the time we put just the motor in our very lightweight and very long, narrow craft here, I think it'll put out some significant horsepower.
Excellent. So on with the teamwork. The Metal Medics boat is already 16 feet long and growing. Alex is out in the yard looking for 2 pontoons to stabilise their ultra-long design. 1 down, 1 to go.
You've got 6 hours left! Hurry up! 6 hours!
The Art Attacks are forging ahead. They've almost finished strengthening their hull, but they're sunk without a propeller. So Beetle's carefully searching for one.
One propeller. I got a propeller, guys. I got our propeller. Brass.
Looks promising, but things aren't always what they seem in the junkyard.
June, stop what you're doing.
Let's start the engine.
Let's start. We need to start the engine because this is a right-handed prop, and we don't know which way the motor turns.
Oh. The Art Attacks have hit their first iceberg. Beetle suspects the prop he's found is incompatible with their motorbike engine.
Why? Explain why.
Because this shaft
turns left.
goes to the left, counterclockwise.
And you can't put the prop on backwards, right?
No.
It's the last little tiny screw holding this engine in.
Over the fence, the Metal Medics have finally torn out that huge diesel engine.
The right angle.
Now for the really tricky part, squeezing it into the giant metal log.
Okay, let's set it down just a little bit. Not quite that quick. Okay, that's probably pretty good.
Will the Metal Medics ever get that massive diesel engine inside their barrel boat?
And will Art Attacker June ever find the right propeller for their speedboat? Join us after the break.
Oh, there you are. Well, welcome back. We got two teams in the junkyard who are wildly scrambling to build us amazing boats.
Okay, hold it there. It's too far in. We need to back up a little bit.
Over halfway through the day, and New Mexico party animals, the Metal Medics, are still trying to squeeze that oversized diesel engine into their 24 feet long floating metal log.
We can pull it out. Just jack it up now. We know we're in.
There's got to be a propeller around here somewhere.
And it's crunch time for the Californian Art Attacks because they still haven't found the right propeller. So June's back to scouring the yard with a little help from Kathy.
Have you been inside all these cars?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
June's looking for a specific type of prop. A propeller works in water like a screw does in wood, pulling itself forward by pushing the wood out behind. But there are two types of prop, each turning in opposite directions. The Art Attack's engine turns counterclockwise, but their prop is designed to turn clockwise. So unless they find another prop, their boat will be going nowhere. Or even worse, backwards.
It's time for drastic action.
10. The Metal Medics have two of these props of the right pitch, and they're both under their table. I don't know if we can steal them or not, man. We might be able to get in there and get them.
June is actually going in to talk to the enemy. Watch out, men, because behind that cute smile lies a sinister motive.
The enemy approaches.
Hi, Smurfette. How's it going?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
Oh, it's going really Smurfy, man. Really. Okay, what are you trying to steal?
All right, now things are getting a little out of hand.
Oh, bye.
I leave for 2 minutes and all the teams are together.
No, you hate each other. No. Ah.
See, look.
There's no skin off your nose. I don't really know how I feel about all this kind of junkyard loving business. I mean, it is meant to be a war, and there's meant to be some sense of kind of, contest.
Yes. But see, I think you're looking at it from the wrong point, because the truth is that was war. Because what she did, she manipulated the guys. She went in, a little wink, wink, a little smile, hugs for everyone. Did you see that? Going and hugging your enemy while you're stealing their stuff.
Do you know the really funny thing is after that whole episode, they got it back there and they're not even sure whether it is the right propeller.
It's not that edge so much as the...
Expert Justin doesn't like the look of their new prop. The blades are both too flat and too narrow to power his design.
Right. The airplane foil of it.
So once again, June sent in to trade with the enemy.
Hey! I'm going to borrow this one as a comparison, and I promise you I will bring mine back.
Yeah, let me see.
You've got about the same surface area here with width that you do the length, but this has a nicer pitch to it. Yes, definitely.
Right. Let's go with the white one. If it's not going to work, it might flail. It's not white.
Justin's still not happy, but this late in the game, they'll just have to settle for what they can get, even though they risk not having enough prop power for the race.
3 hours left, kiddies. 3 hours.
We got to heat this thing up, and then just sit there and line this baby up.
And just spin it and watch it wobble.
The heat is on, and Dr. Bill has the mammoth task of making a perfectly straight and very long drive shaft from old tubes.
Okay, someone may need to push at the other end of that thing. More. It's not too bad.
No, it's not.
Good.
So it's a delta 4. 4 inches. So we're going to have a delta of 4 inches here.
The medics have to work out the correct angle for the drive shaft and then cut through all the internal walls of their welded barrels. They seem happy with their calculations, but the judge has worries about their design.
I don't know whether that thing's going to float, for number one.
Really?
Yeah, I think they may have a little problem with the weight distribution, too. But I'll tell you, I'm very intrigued with the design.
So you're a little nervous about that. Now, how about Art Attacks? Do you feel any better about their design?
Art Attacks, I think, is right on schedule. They have a 2-cycle engine that'll rev up to probably 7,000 or 8,000 RPMs. They finally settled on a prop.
Who do you put your money on?
I put my money on Art Attack.
With the clock ticking, the Art Attacks rush to put their drive shaft in place. Their job will be a little easier than the medics because their shaft is only 4 feet long. But there's another problem.
I'm thinking maybe what we should do is drill the hole, slide the shaft through, and just clear what we need away from the hole.
Our teams will need to run the rotating drive shaft through their otherwise watertight hull, but they risk sinking unless they can reseal the hole. The solution will be to make or find a stuffing box, a small watertight container inside which the drive shaft can rotate without water leaking into the boat. So, the point of no return.
There she goes, boys. She's a boat with a hole. In the hole. On the hole. All right, it's time to stuff the box.
Justin's doing it the old-fashioned way, stuffing the box with rope and grease to make it watertight. I hope that is actually going to keep the water out.
Looking really good. It looks like we got all the components we need for the essentials.
Out in the yard, the Metal Medics scavengers have found an old submersible. She's not seaworthy, but she does have an intact, purpose-built, slimline stuffing box, so they don't have to mess around with dirty bits of greasy rope.
There it is. Triumph!
Looks like that should keep the water out nicely.
So why exactly are you measuring that? Is that because you're going to be cutting that down?
That's where we're going to be cutting that down.
Right, okay.
Right. And that stuffing box, turns out we're having to work around it because it's a fixed size.
Right, and that's just this bit here?
That's it. And right inside there's a wax packing.
Right. So that doesn't look like much, but actually that could be the key
It's extremely critical.
keeping your water away.
That's right.
Now for the moment of truth.
Okay, we got to jiggle and wiggle to get it in.
I know.
Can the medics line up their tricky drive shaft to their engine?
We're going to twist and push.
Twist and push.
This screwdriver and pull the hull down around.
Drop.
There it is.
Okay, it's starting. Now about 2.
That's good. Set it in, folks. Weld it up.
The next thing on the list for the Art Attacks is the steering.
Thanks, little Jimmy.
Beetle is getting really creative with old bicycle parts. He's cutting and welding the frames and wheels to make an improvised, pulley-driven steering mechanism.
Frank, are we going to get ourselves a race tomorrow?
I don't know. It's going to be close. I think the Art Attack, they're working on the steering right now.
Right.
I got a little secret to tell you. I think the way they're going to set it up is they're going to turn to the right and the boat's going to turn to the left.
If you turn it this way, then the
Right.
rope turns this way, and then the wheels turn this way, and then the rudders turn this way. So if you turn to the left,
So you'd be going the wrong direction, right?
you got to turn opposite.
Yeah, I think so.
Correct. Talk to me about Metal Medics setup. What do you think's going on?
Well, they finally got the engine in place. I think they're working on welding the motor mounts to the barrels.
Right. Now that looks a little, as we say back on the farm, cattywampus. Is it going to be really tippy?
It looks tippy to me. It could be one of these, I don't know, these old-time movies where they show somebody trying to do a flying contraption or something, and it'll roll over or whatever. I'm just wondering if that's what's going to happen.
Okay, friends, you now have my permission to go, ah! Because you have 1 hour left. 1 hour to build them, kids. Make them look like a boat. Come on!
As night falls over the junkyard, the rush is on, and the Art Attacks are really moving.
It's a whole different ball game with the Metal Medics. They've only got enough stuff for one stabilizing pontoon.
Okay, we're short of time.
Let's cut it to one pontoon out there.
It means adapting their original design to something less like a trimaran and more like a Polynesian fishing vessel.
Okay, I'm going to tape it in first. Ready to weld over here?
Yep. Okay, is that as high as it'll go?
This new design may give them problems with stability during the big race.
All right, now I'm seeing some grease. I know you guys are busy, so I'll make this fast. But I thought I was going to see 2 outriggers. Are you only doing 1?
Most of the Polynesian ones have 1.
So this is the Polynesian design. So you figure that the weight of this will hold it down, and then it'll keep
the buoyancy will
keep
hold
it up.
Oh,
smart aleck.
I'm not.
Who thought of that? Whose idea was that to
This
do
is
one?
our expert.
Oh, really?
This is our expert. He ought to know because he's an expert.
It's brilliant. You've got your propeller out?
It's beautiful, man. Yeah, that propeller is a work of art.
Not going to leak?
No, it's fine.
On the other side of the wall, Art Attack of Flatmo is doing what he does best. I'm so impressed at your confidence.
Gotta do something.
That you even have time for the artwork.
Well, you know what? It's worth it. I know these guys got it under control. Ken and June and Justin, man,
They're rigging one of the most outlandish steering systems the world has ever seen.
They've got it. It's a Vitalman special is what that is.
Guys, you've got about 30 minutes left. Totally confident.
It may be cool and tranquil with the art attacks, but the metal medics are frantically welding in 3 extra barrels to give their weighty design more buoyancy.
Okay. Craft seat.
Now Alex mounts the fuel tank and battery, and they're almost there.
Boy, perfect fit on the fuel line, guys.
Tell me what the race is going to be like. All of a sudden, we shout go, and who gets out of the gate first?
This boat has a bigger propeller, so I have a feeling this boat probably will take off first.
That first turn, what's going to happen at the turn?
Well, Art Attack, they got to get this engine planing off.
Okay.
They have a gearbox. They have no excuses. If they can't plane it off in one gear, they can use another gear.
So you got little Jimmy's milk money. Frail little Jimmy needs his vitamin D milk.
Where do you take the milk money? What team do you put it on?
Well, it's whether I want to buy a quart or a gallon. If I want to buy a gallon, I'm going with Art Attack.
A few final adjustments, and it's the moment they've all been waiting for.
Good. Just run with the prop on. Give me some rudder.
Now there's only one thing left to do. Finish the paint job.
Jackson Pollock, eat your heart out, dude.
You're doing the most important part, Dwayne.
For you, man. Just for you, bro. I love you, man.
10 minutes. 10, kids. Go get them.
The medics, however, are still struggling. Before the clock runs out, they have to make sure that big ol' engine runs.
All right.
It's all I wanted to hear, man. All right.
Okay.
What do you think about, like, throwing everybody's initials on there or something?
How about our names?
Yeah, our
If we got time.
That's it, teams. Put down your tools. You got it. You are now dirtier, greasier, and yes, stinkier than any human being has a right to be. Go home and of all things proper, take a shower. Tomorrow we race. Let's hear it. Go!
Will Hot Hazel, the Art Attack's motorcycle-powered, back-to-front cable-steered, upside-down van roof be speedy? Or will it turn out to be all art and no attack?
Will the Metal Medic's long, unbalanced metal log, powered by a smoky old diesel engine, cut through the water to victory? Or will the medics cause an emergency of their own? Join us after the break.
Howdy, gang. Welcome back to Junkyard Wars. Well, yesterday each of our 2 teams both had 10 hours to build their version of a powerboat. Man, we got 2 different versions. And as you can see today behind me, it's Junkyard's Island, where each team will have their castaways, and they both have to race over to the island and see who gets back first. Meantime, I just thought I'd do a little fishing. I think I got... Look at that! Pre-gutted.
As usual, we've allowed each team an hour for final preparations of their vehicles. First up for the Metal Medics, it's last-minute luxury seating.
We're going to be riding in some style today.
Great.
I love duct tape. My friend. Duct tape your friend.
The Art Attacks have realized their back-to-front steering blunder, and they've made a simple adjustment so their boat will now steer the direction they'd like it to.
Driver butt is nice and clear, and our steering will now go the right way.
Okay.
Since we've crossed our wires, turning left will be left, turning right will be right, and the instructions we wrote can be eliminated.
Yes.
Now for both teams, the last-minute essentials to get those engines rolling.
That should get us there and back again. I hope so.
So, Art Attacks, are we ready for action?
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
The clock is ticking, I tell you.
It's working. Fantastic.
The clock is actually ticking.
So you're in the driving seat?
Yes, I am. I have the most motor experience, so if something goes awry, it's up to me to fix it.
Right. How much do you think this is going to be like driving a real motorbike?
None at all.
A real rainy day.
You don't have to lean with this one. That's what's kind of nice.
So, do we reckon she's seaworthy?
We are very confident.
Are we? Excellent.
Yes.
So who's going to be on the old...
Our
The captain.
Right here.
Dr. Bill.
Captain,
Bill.
So you're going to shoot out of here, and then
Right.
how's the actual... Because that's quite a delicate manoeuvre, isn't it? Stopping directly where you want to on the island. Is that going to be easy to do, do you think?
Well,
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tricky.
Reverse, and we don't have neutral.
And have you ever driven anything like this before?
I don't think
I
there
don't know
is.
there's many people that have ever driven anything like this.
This is the first of its kind.
Do you think we're going to see this taking off in a big way?
It's a moon
yeah,
rocket
but
to
it
the
does.
island. You know?
Are you on the
We're
other
ready.
side?
All right.
We're ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it.
So team morale is high.
Yeah!
It's time to get racing. The metal log is so heavy, it needs a little bit of help to get it in the water. With both teams successfully floating into position, it's over to Kathy to explain the course.
The teams will start from their two separate pontoons on the shore side. Then the first leg is out to the island. It's a short voyage to Junkion's Island to pick up castaway team member number 1. Then it's a long, fast straight, a tight turn, and back to shore where they drop off the first rescued castaway. The skipper then heads back out to Junkion's Island to pick up team member number 2. You get the picture. 3 times round, first complete team back on dry land will be through to the semi-finals.
Skippers, are you ready?
Yeah, for real.
Castaways, are you ready?
Yeah! Save us!
Then, go!
Metal Medic took the lead.
And you know what? Hot Hazel is slow.
My God, it's so fast!
The metal log is the first to reach Junkion's Island.
Right up next to the island.
And it's a successful pickup for Castaway Larry.
They made a torpedo!
Faster, faster. Keep coming, Ken. Just hop in. Ready? Hop in.
Come on, attack!
Hop in. Now. Hit it, Ken. Turn it.
And check that out. The log is steaming down the first straight, increasing its lead.
Now let's see how they can turn. Let's see how Metal Medics can navigate this corner.
Oh, no! They went over.
We hit someone over.
Oh my goodness!
Driver's out.
They're gonna get back
Passengers out.
They're both
Flip it
okay.
over.
They're both okay.
Oh boy, we're not going to hear the end of this one.
It went very fast, but not for very long.
Okay, Art Attack. I don't think Art Attack knows that.
All they have to do is finish, but they're taking on a lot of water. That stuffing box can't have been stuffed right.
Give me a little closer, a little closer. They climb in front, remember. Whatever you do, don't run me over. Climb in front and bail like mad!
The medics can hardly believe what's happened.
That's showbiz.
Do you know, for the first short life of that machine, it was one of the most beautiful things.
It was a beautiful thing. It was really slicing through the water.
Do you think they were going too fast and that's why
I
it
don't know,
toppled?
you know, it seems to me they may have been overcompensating going around the corner. they may have shifted their weight way to the inside to make the turn and cause it to flip in.
Yeah. Look at it. It looks so sad.
But
little
notice
rudder sticking up in the air.
it's still floating.
Yes! Small victories.
Just pull that sucker in here so I can get on it.
Go on the front.
All right, time to pick up the next castaway. Now, the Art Attacks know that victory is within reach, but they'll have to take it easy to complete the course in one piece. June is bailing like a woman possessed.
It is really going down, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm nervous. Just one
You're the
little
last
false-
castaway. No wonder you're nervous. Will you make it back?
I hope so. It's only waist deep, June. You'll be fine. Okay. Go for it, June. Hop out. Hop out. Push away.
Go.
Push away.
Go.
Castaway number 2 is safely back to shore, so it's off on the final lap for Hot Hazel. Now let's have our impartial judge's opinion on that fantastic barrel roll.
The minute they took that corner, I told them they needed that extra outrigger.
You wanted
They
the extra
didn't
outrigger.
believe me. What can I tell you?
Ready, flat low! Soon you'll see your family and friends again.
Yes. Okay, Ken. Okay, we're going in.
Go.
Good job. Just take it slow. Take it nice and slow. We got it. They flipped, you know.
I know. I saw.
Hey, kiss me.
Good. Cut your engine. Coast in. All is well.
The Art Attacks boat never went fast, and it took on a lot of water, but it doesn't matter because they still have a victory in sight, winning themselves a place in the semifinals of the Junkyard Wars.
Come on, teammates. Woo! Dun-da-da! Dun-da-da-da-da! Hold it away from the flag. Hold it away from the flag.
Well, that was a stupendous victory by the Art Attacks, and sadly, Metal Medics, the end of the road. But join us after the break to find out what happened.
Welcome back, Junkyard Doggies. Well, it looks like we've got a winner in our powerboat race, the Art Attacks. And just to show that they're good sports, they're actually going to rescue the other teams.
Flatmo and Beetle to the rescue.
So the Art Attacks floating upside-down van roof powers over to the Metal Medics shipwrecked barrel boat, which took a turn for the worse at the very first corner.
Congratulations, you guys.
Oh, man.
Well, at least they're not leaving him out there.
Yeah, that's nice. They couldn't they, as mean punishment.
But will anybody ever rescue us?
You gotta go get those guys, too.
Let's go get your guys.
We can carry them all.
Are we all going to ride
We're
back?
going to really sink it now.
Good.
We're going to rescue you guys.
You're just showing off now.
Oh.
Okay, you got to get people on this side. Do not stand in the red part. Now it's really not moving.
So with all the castaways safely ashore, it's time for the celebrations to begin.
I bequeath the bottle to the winners, to Flatmo right here. The winners, Art Attacks!
What did Bowser do?
Yeah, wait a minute. Now, in retrospect, would you have liked to have the two?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we
is that
looked
what
for
did
it.
it?
We
Huh?
looked for it.
Yeah.
We never found that second pontoon.
Right. At first, I was thinking we're getting our butts kicked. You know, they are going to just zoom past.
On the second run
Yeah,
out,
they were
we
winning.
we hit the island out there, and it bent one of the rudders, and it steered much better after that.
I thought it was going to be over in a flash.
Oh, well, it was.
Oh, that'll be in slow motion. When boats go bad. What on it, me? All right, well, that's it for Junkyard Wars this time, isn't it, though? tuning in to Powerboats. Art Attacks is going on to the semifinals, and we'll see you next time on Junkyard Wars.
In the first of our semifinals, meet the Art Attacks and the Young Guns as they battle to build a deep-sea diving machine that will find sunken treasure in shark-infested waters.